The James Show Podcast.
We're just preparing for the great food stamp crash out of 2025. It's the James Show, News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP. I am your host, James Parker. Now, before we get into the, throwing the punches and landing some punches, let's just remember that, first of all, as a moral, good Christian society, the first thing we need to do in the face of the great food stamp crash out of 2025 is donate to your local food pantry or do something with private voluntary donations. Because, philosophically speaking, if you are like me and you don't think food stamps are a moral, ethical way to go about addressing food shortages in society, then I assume that you assume that slack is going to be taken up by private sector charities, private voluntary donations. Well, make sure they have private voluntary donations, because if we can pull this off this weekend, we can start to have the conversation about getting rid of food stamps all together. But check this out. I also want to prove these people wrong who say that we just can't do it with food banks alone. We've just got to have the federal government doing it. Really? This is ABC News. Check this out.
I am 34 years old, and I am the mother of two boys, 8 and 3.
For Simone Wilkes, the shutdown isn't about politics. It's about survival.
My stomach dropped because I'm already struggling. I'm already stretching food.
She's one of 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP, the federal program that helps families afford groceries. But with the government shutdown dragging into a fourth week, those benefits could be cut off as early as November 1st. Food banks across the country are already seeing longer lines and shorter supplies.
SNAP is a frontline program that really just cannot be replaced by charitable food assistance. We have over 1.4 million recipients.
Wait, did you hear that? That's the part I want to address. I'll continue the package in just a second. It just can't be replaced by charitable food assistance. So you're saying we don't have the resources to do it, but we have the resources to take the money from us by force, send it to D.C., and they can do it? No. We clearly have the resources to do it. You can make the case that maybe we don't have the willpower, or it would take a lot more charity than we're currently seeing. But the idea that we just can't do it without the federal government, that's the part that ticks me off, and I'm pushing back on here.
SNAP is a frontline program that really just cannot be replaced by charitable food assistance. We have over 1.4 million recipients on the program here in the state of Michigan, so there will be an influx of more people coming to our food pantry lines.
In Rhode Island, the impact is already being felt.
When you think about in terms of SNAP going away, that's a $29 million hit to the state every single month. So that's $1 million a day that's not coming in SNAP benefits. And there is no way that we can food bank our way out of it.
For Simone, it's not...
There's the other one. There's no way we can food bank our way out of it. Of course we can. Of course. You act like, well, that's $29 million a day. That's being, taken out of your economy? No. That's $29 million a day that's not being taken from the taxpayers, and they're going to get to spend it, not the food stamp recipients. This movie isn't coming from some fairy in the clouds. This movie has to be either taken directly from taxpayers, or we print the dollar and we take it through inflation. But that money isn't just magically going to disappear if the food stamp people stop using it. It's just going to remain in the hands of the people that earned it.
About party lines, it's about making sure her children don't go hungry.
Thinking of things I'm going to not pay for. I'm going to have to cut out internet. My son needs that for his schooling. I'm going to have to cut that out because that's extra money that I can pay for the food. Got to come up with a plan so the kids can still eat and still go to school, and me possibly having to pick up another job at night in order for them to eat.
As the shutdown wears on, Simone says she's doing what she's always done, finding a way. But with no end in sight, millions of families like hers are left wondering, how much longer can they hold on? Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
You know what, Jacqueline? I am just amazed that so many people who call themselves journalists, so many people that go to college and they're allowed platforms on radio and TV and in newsrooms and on big old networks. Are you completely thoughtless? There's no other way we can do this other than the federal government? Because when I look at the little concentric circles around who should be helping poor people that need help, I would start with, number one, if you're a child, obviously your parents, your mom and your dad. But we just had the focus there on the mom. Well, You see a single mother and her children. That's a sad story, but where's the dad? That's the first person you should look to. Who should be responsible for paying? Well, there's no way we're going to feed these kids without the federal government coming in. Let me see how many steps I can put into before the federal government becomes a backstop from my worldview. Because the first one is the dad. The dad should feed him. Second, mom. Mom should feed him. If mom or dad are either not there or incapable, then the rest of the family. Do they have grandparents on the mom side? Do they have grandparents on the dad side? Do they have some aunts? Do they have some uncles? Do they have some siblings? Do they have children themselves? Do they have cousins, first cousins, second cousins, eighth cousins twice removed? You mean to tell me there's not one person anywhere in this family that can help? All of them are losers. Not one person makes more money than their absolute base subsistence needs. The whole damn family. There's no one that can help them before you go to the federal government. Because after that, then the next concentric circle, besides your immediate family and your extended family, would be your community. Do you have any friends? Do you have any neighbors? Do you have any former classmates or former coworkers or current coworkers? Or do you go to a church? Is there anyone in your church groups or those connections? Is there anyone in your community connections? Is there anyone, I don't know, do you go swimming at the pool or play at the park or see people on a regular basis at the grocery store? I mean, what about your immediate community? What about the nonprofits in your immediate community? What about the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, or the food bank? You know, that we talked to Mimi's Food Pantry up in North Dallas. What about the North Texas Food Bank? We can't get some help there. First, you got to go all the way to the federal government, all the way to D.C. You're jumping over all of these other closer, more local, more direct, more personal avenues of help just to say, well, we've got to do this in D.C. But even if you do think it's a government function, why not your city government? Why not your county government? Why not your state government? You're going all the way to the federal government. So when they say, well, if mom can't feed her kids, I guess we have to, rely on the federal government. No, you're skipping over friends, family, church, community, Red Cross, Salvation Army, food banks, city, county, state governments. You're just jumping over all that. And you're acting like, well, there's no one else to do it. How else would they get help? I just named 8 other ways. That would be a better idea than food stamps. Food stamps at the federal level may be the worst way to address this problem. And the other side of the familial issue that you're going to see is, what if we do get rid of food stamps? If food stamps, the argument's been made in previous James shows that all these assistance programs, especially for single moms, incentivize the dissolution of the nuclear family. Well, then wouldn't be eliminating these programs? Wouldn't that incentivize and strengthen the nuclear family? But there's a very loud-spoken pundit on social media named Mr. Red Pills. And he's very animated in his dissertation here, but the point he's making, take it very serious. Ending food stamps could heal the family. Now, he's talking specifically about his own community, the black community here, but take out the racial angle and what he's saying here. This applies just as much to white people, Hispanic people, people of any race. One of the biggest problems we have in modern America is the dissolution of the nuclear family and the results of that. And when you remove this one big financial incentive, this could bring families back together. This could save, this could reunite the failing American family.
Food stamps gone. Section 8 gone. All your SNAP and EBT benefits gone. Now you got to go back to Tyrone. Woo! I think this is great. We have just single-handedly saved the black family. Why? Because Tasha can't run out on Tyrone anytime she get mad and think the government going to take care of her. Tasha can't leave Tyrone and think that the kids going to eat. Tasha can't leave Tyrone and think she going to get a free rent. Tasha can't depend on the government because years ago, black women turned their back on black men for government assistance, for food stamps, for Section 8, for welfare, for WIC, for all the things that black men bring into their household. They said, no, we don't need that. I'll go file to the government and they'll give it to me. Trump said, hell no. Woo! Now you're going to have to start choosing better. Woo! Now women are going to have babies with men that actually want to have babies with them. Woo! Now women are going to have to vet their partners and not be able to just hit them up for a check every time and think they can live off the government. Woo! This is amazing. You're going to see more wives and less baby mamas. You're going to see more two-parent households because it's going to be a family unit, because success is a team sport. You're going to see women go back to their men, go back to their child's father and try to work things out and not childishly run out to the next. Why? Because Donald Trump and the government don't got your back no more. Because you can't go over there and get free food stamps and sell them bitches 40 for the 80. Because you don't have a $72 rent anymore. Because now you're going to have to figure it out. And the only person that's left is that black man that you walked out on years ago. Donald Trump did it with this one, and I'm here for it. Queens, go back to your kings and work it out. Baby mamas, go back to your baby daddies and become wives. It's time for us to work together. This is actually amazing. No longer will you be incentivized by quitting on your household. No longer will you be incentivized by quitting on your marriage. No longer will you be incentivized by quitting on that black man. You are no longer incentivized to leave. So baby, you either pay or stay.
Dang. Now that was good. Because ultimately what we could learn here is this whole experience in the matriarchy has failed. You've run men off. You've dissolved the family. You've thrown out all our traditions and mores and all our cultural norms that got us here. You've tried to replace it with government, and it didn't work. There's no replacement for a dad. Just like there's no replacement for a mom. But there's no replacement for a dad. And it's not just the food stamps. Studies show that children brought up in a single mother home 5 times more likely to commit suicide, 9 times more likely to drop out of high school, 10 times more likely to abuse chemical substances, 14 times more likely to commit rape, 20 times more likely to end up in prison, 32 times more likely to run away from home. This isn't just about food stamps. This isn't just about food. This is about family. This is about returning to the societal traditions that made us the number one country in the first place. And this is about healing families. 35% of boys with a present biological father will obtain a college degree. Just 14% of boys who do not have a present biological father obtain a college degree. So it's not just food. It's crime. It's addiction. It's financial success. It's everything. It's rolled up in this one. We have a great opportunity here, but we can't drop the ball. We have to donate to food banks. We have to rise up and meet the challenge this new challenge that's going to be put on the private sector charity system. We're not used to this. We're going to have to expand capacity. But if we do, the payoffs are going to be huge. All right, coming up next on The James Show. Now, welcome back, RT. Donald Trump said you can expect gas to go down to $2 a gallon. Now, I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch, because $2 isn't the same as $2 was 10 years ago. But do you see it going much lower than it is now?
Well, it's always great to be here, James, and there is a possibility. I mean, we live in a world of where anything's possible these days, and right now, with the way that we have the amazing ceasefire in the Middle East, OPEC continuing to add barrels to the supply, world supply, there could be a possibility, especially as we continue to drill here in America and continue to be the number one producer in the world.
That $2 mark got a lot of attention in the 2012 presidential election cycle. Michelle Bachmann had come out and said, if you implement our drill baby drill policies, we can get the price of gas down to $2. Now, she was absolutely ridiculed, and I have a montage of all these people and politicians saying, what a ridiculous statement. It'll never get to $2 a gallon again. And then it did get to $2 a gallon again once Trump got in office. But again, I guess that's been 5 years since it's been that low, and since we've had 25% inflation again, I think to achieve the same effect, you would see gas at $2.25, $2.50.
Well, keep in mind again, here in North Texas, we're already at $2.49 in some places, and that's at $60 oil, James. So what we could really see is this continue to go down. There's probably some good indications that we're going to see $55 oil here during the holiday season. And if we do, there's a very strong ability that we could see, especially in Texas, where our taxes aren't as high on per gallon of gasoline, that we could see these $2 gasoline prices.
That would be a big wow moment. Now, I've been telling you to watch Landman. Did you watch it yet?
Well, the new season hasn't come out yet.
But did you see the first season?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So he gives the price range, and it's kind of similar to what you mentioned here, but he's responding to the idea that the oil company's bending over backwards to work on their PR to prove that they're like energy friendly or they're planet friendly or whatever. But listen to this little soliloquy from John Hamm's character.
Shut the up. My God, this is why I don't come to these things. Y'all have been in so many shareholder meetings, you forgot what it is we actually do for a living. We are well diggers. We don't, nor can we ever control how our product is used or what it is used for. There's nothing I can do to make an engine run cleaner because I don't build engines. I don't care what the governor of California says about electric vehicles. I don't care how many career college students block London traffic or spray paint a sculpture. I care that the price of oil stays between $76 and $88 a barrel. That is what we should be discussing. The world has already convinced itself that you are evil and I am evil for providing them the one thing they interact with every day, and they will not be convinced otherwise. Stop wasting your time and stop wasting mine.
So $76 to $88 was his range. Does that sound about right?
That is right. And in fact, right now I'm at an event that is part of the AAPL, which is the American Association of Petroleum Landmen. And they actually worked with Taylor Sheridan's writers to make sure that a lot of the dialogue, maybe not a lot of the action, but a lot of the writing was in step with the actual oil and gas industry. And you've heard a lot of us say it, that 75 to 85 is amazing because oil and gas companies like Pecos continue to make a dollar and the economy continues to be strong. What we do want to watch out for, though, is getting prices below that $50 range, not only because of the return on profit, but also because at some point the economy will begin to weaken because the price of oil is weaker.
I hear you. All right, RT Trevino, what's coming up on the Crude Truth podcast?
Oh, my gosh. Definitely want to take a look. Just had Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne on the show. That episode is released. And then I was in West Texas and had a great chance to meet with both the mayors of Odessa and Midland and really talk about all the great things going on in West Texas.
All right, there he is, RT Trevino from the Crude Truth podcast. Thank you very much for being on the James Show, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up next. Oh, no, I got time to squeeze in one call. Let me do one here. Is that cool? Paladin, Grand Prairie, you're on WBAP. Go.
Yeah, we in Grand Prairie, City Council and the constituents were wise enough to not join DART back when it first started.
Amen to that. Good job with Garland. Credit. Y'all get points.
No. Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie. Oh, yeah, it is Grand Prairie on my screen. I'm dumb. Go ahead.
But anyway, we have benefited from having that half-a-cent sales tax in our own coffers to be able to use it how we wish.
Okay. I mean, it's so hard to make that argument because we're arguing for something that's intangible. You know, you do this program, you can see the tracks, you can see the trains, you can see the buses. You take it away, you can't see an extra half-cent sales tax that's just sloshing around in all the cash registers of the small businesses in your town. But it makes the same impact, just in a positive direction. Adam in Fort Worth, you're on WBAP.
Yeah, it's interesting because to his point from the previous caller, Grand Prairie, you know, there was a subcommittee hearing on a Green Deal that tried to go through during the Biden administration where they were saying if we implement these things, we're going to lower the CO2 emissions by 0.5 point of percentage. And the experts all across the board from both sides of the political aisle had actually said, you know, in the thousands of years the Earth has been running, you know, because that number is debatable, the amount of CO2 has never been up or down more than 1.5%. And the effect that it hasn't deterred the climate at all. So that argument was shut down. And then with all of the safety briefings coming out on how unsafe public transit is all across the country, I'm surprised more people aren't actually protesting to say, hey, let's put the money somewhere else. We rode trains 100 years ago. We rode trains 50 years ago. But now we don't have enough public money in any of our cities to have law and order and to protect our citizenry who do walk, who do find that way to get from point A to point B and use their head. And they're the ones that are going to suffer because they won't have the safety they need. Even with the trains getting refunded, it's millions of dollars just to put one technician on a train to fix a rail line.
I love all
That's
that.
money that should be spent in law and order.
Good stuff. That's Adam in Fort Worth making a bunch of good points. Coming up next, Matt Walsh says food stamps should come with the weight requirement. 800-288-9227. I'm James Parker. It's News Talk 820, 93.3 FM WBAP.